This is day number 5 of this 90 days in video challenge. Now, if you don't know what the challenge is all about, go back and look at the first video in the series and you'll know exactly what this is all about. Now, if you're somebody who's been watching me and following me in the series, thank you so much for being here, liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. Again, I think I can't just do this alone, so thank you so much for being around. Talking about being alone, I think the topic that I really want to talk about today is something that was triggered by what happened, what I read in the newspapers this morning. When I woke up this morning, I actually saw this news of one of India's biggest coffee chains. The owner of the chain, the founder of this coffee chain, had committed suicide, and it was a very, very disturbing news. Now, the minute I read this, of course, my mind started to reel in different directions. But I think one of the main points that I really wanted to talk about is a lot of people were commenting on this news in Twitter, and I saw them talking about this thing that it's lonely at the top. I'm sure you've heard this phrase, which essentially means that as you go higher up in the ladder, it gets lonely. But I think this point is very important, especially in the world we live in today. It's distributed. We all work remotely. I'm sure you or one of your relatives or colleagues are working remotely. And as a solopreneur, I work remotely and all by myself. I don't have anybody else to chat every single day to discuss the challenges I have, or neither do I have anybody to actually go and ask for advice with. This kind of a challenge plays a critical role in the way you think and the way you make progress. And one of the biggest challenges I had early on when I started to do this is not making progress. I was not making progress in multiple areas of my life. One is, of course, on the business side. Number two, I was not making progress in the physical side, on my exercise and stuff like that, because I was sitting all the day. So this is one of the biggest challenges I've had, and since then I've spoken to so many different solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, and this keeps coming up every now and then. Now, I really want to talk about this not from the point of complaining, but from the point of sharing some ideas and solutions that I have used that work for me. So one of the ways I have tried to overcome this, and it's worked so far, is trying to follow a routine. Some people call it as a ritual. You have a morning ritual or a ritual throughout the day, but then I think I have a routine. And I've really benefited from having this routine because I know exactly when I wake up on a Monday morning what I need to do. Tuesdays and Thursdays are the days when I actually have interviews scheduled. And Mondays are the days when I actually write a blog post. Or for that matter, Wednesdays are the days when I publish new episodes. And Fridays are the days when I actually spend time on doing other sorts of business stuff. And Thursdays, the first half of the day, I spend time actually working on ideation, products that I can come up with and all of that. Now, this gives me a great way to actually begin the day, because one of the biggest challenges when you work as a solopreneur, or for that matter, when I was in the corporate life, I used to work remotely too. And one of the biggest challenges, I'm sure you empathize with this, is the fact that you wake up to have nobody to report to. You don't have anything to look forward to. You just have a task that you've been working on, perhaps at the best, or some meetings perhaps. So the best way you can actually overcome this, and I've found this through my own experience, is to actually have a routine for every single day. You can call it as theme days or whatever it is. But I think it works. And the second thing I've found is there is no point just having this ritual or a routine, because a ritual or a routine, if you don't see it, you don't do it. So the best way to do it is not to use as much as possible, avoid using technology. But then if you have to use technology, it's okay. So I use a physical wall, which is right here in front of me, where I actually have that day's schedule put clearly chalked out, and I have actually created a nice little calendar view where I have post-it notes and all of that to show me exactly what I have lined up for today. Now, another technology tool that actually has helped me, a software tool, is Asana, where I really have found out a way to use Asana. I'll perhaps share that in another video, but I think finding it's not enough to have a routine, but also have a way to see and interact with those the activities in the everyday's routine, so that you actually have a way to touch and feel it. You know what I hope you kind of get what I mean. So that's played a big role. The third thing is actually having a way to move your body, because what I realized is when you sit, your mind gets dull. So having to move your body is so important. There are various ways you can do it. Of course, people say go walk and get water, but I think getting water is not good enough, because getting water is not much of a physical strain as much as it is to do some exercise. Now, there are various ways you can do exercise, and for me, I prefer to work out at my own terms. So I started using Athlean X, where I really found the right mix of workouts for me to use. So if you're somebody who's working from home, or for that matter, you're a solopreneur, I think using Athlean X and checking out their programs is a great idea. I highly recommend doing that. Jeff Cavalier, who's the founder of Athlean X, is one of the most amazing people. And one of the reasons I really recommend Athlean X is because of the fact that the focus that Athlean X has on exercise is holistic. So you will know when you actually try one of their free videos on YouTube perhaps. But I think the point is it's a great system to adopt if you're working from home, because they have options for you specifically if you're working from home without using any other tools that you need to buy and use. So go check that out if you have a moment. But I think these are the three things. First is have a routine. Second, have a way to interact with that routine every single day. And number three, have a way to move your body. And more importantly, in a way that actually not just gets you active, but also helps you stay in shape. I really want to talk about this today because this morning when I actually read the news, it was so disturbing. Plus, today happens to be the day when I release a new episode on the Design Your Thinking podcast. And today's episode happened to be one with a person I interviewed a month back. Her name is Lee Holmes. So if you don't know her, she is a yoga and meditation teacher and the founder of a company called Supercharged Food. And she's written about 9 books. And as you probably know, or if you don't know, the way I pick my guests, none of my guests are recommended. I go and handpick people. So, I mean, well, you can recommend, but I essentially handpick people. If I like them, they're on the show. And she was somebody I handpicked a couple of months back because of what she's been doing. She actually had a condition. So she was having an autoimmune disease, and there is this disease called fibromyalgia. Now, I heard Lady Gaga is suffering from this too. Now, the whole point is she's somebody who actually was suffering from this, and she overcame all of this through nutrition and diet. It's unbelievable, but I think the point there is I was really impressed with the kind of work she's doing. So I brought her on the show. So we had a wonderful conversation where she shared tips about nutrition. She shared tips about how to eat a balanced diet. She shared a ton of stuff, and I truly thank her for doing that. But again, the reason I was able to empathize with her is because I've seen people going through this, and there are so many entrepreneurs. Like I said, Lady Gaga has this problem. So many people have problems that can come up because of whatever reason. And what I realized from talking to Lee Holmes is the fact that you can use food and diet to actually bring things back in its place. So go check that episode out. It's already out. I'll have the links again in the show notes. But I think I really want you to take away a couple of things here with this video. It's just past the 10-minute mark, but I think I want you to take away 3 things. First, It's important for you if you're a solopreneur or working remotely. It's important for you to have a routine. Please have a routine. Find out what's the best routine. Play around, fix it, and number two, have a way to interact with that routine every single day. Number three, move, exercise, and it's very, very important. And number four, go check out this podcast episode that I put out today, because Lee Holmes, who's an amazing human being on the first place, she shares some amazing tips on what you can eat, how to pick stuff that you can eat every single day, how can you make sure you're eating the right food when you're traveling. Again, for entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, or anybody for that matter, I think you travel a lot, so it's important for you to make sure you're eating the right kind of food. So go check that episode out. I'll put all the links right below this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to see this video. So if you want to cheer me up, which I really hope you do, please like this video, leave a comment, and of course share this channel with your friends and colleagues. And of course subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much again. Till I see you with tomorrow's video. Ciao.